told you that everything you've dismissed as mere coincidence has been reality's way of speaking to you all along. Every time you brushed off that strange alignment of events, every time you noticed a number following you, or that song playing just when you needed it most, it wasn't random. You've been trained not to see it. You've been trained to believe that life is random, that meaning is only found in logic and evidence. But deep down, you've always felt at those tiny moments that seem too precise to be chance. And you were right. These are not accidents. They're synchronicities, patterns that ripple through the very fabric of existence, hinting at something more. Ancient minds knew this. They studied it, they lived by it. But today's world will tell you it's all just chance, cognitive bias, nothing more. Because the moment you realize reality speaks, you begin to understand your power to listen, and even more, to respond. In this unraveling, you're not just observing synchronicity, you're unlocking it. From birth, you've been conditioned to trust systems, to obey rules, to believe only what can be proved and measured. The education you received wasn't about awareness, it was about limitation. Schools taught you to memorize, to perform, to conform. Creativity, intuition, inner knowing, all dismissed. You were never taught how to notice synchronicity, you were taught to ignore it. Even when you were a child, when you instinctively sensed connections, felt energies shift, predicted moments before they happened, you were told it was imagination. So you stopped listening. You stopped believing. The world told you to be rational, to follow a mechanical model of reality where nothing is connected, nothing is mysterious. But what if that model was never true? What if it's just a cage? Science, or at least the version most people know, has become the gatekeeper. Real science is about exploration, wonder, and mystery. But what you've been given is a narrow lens, one that explains everything as random, meaningless, predictable. Under that model, synchronicities are brushed off as brain tricks. You see 1111 repeatedly, just your brain noticing patterns. You meet the perfect person at the exact right time, just luck. That dream you had that warned you of an event the next day, just imagination. But some of the greatest minds in human history, Carl Jung, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, they didn't see reality this way. They knew it was more. They knew the connections weren't random. They sensed the fabric of existence was alive, intelligent, and responsive. Society mocks those who speak about signs and patterns. Call it synchronicity, and people call you superstitious. Believe in it deeply, and you might be labeled irrational. But this isn't just about belief, it's about power. If you keep people disconnected from synchronicity, you keep them disconnected from their own agency. Because the truth is, once you start seeing the patterns, you begin to see how you're part of something bigger, not just floating in chaos, but being gently guided, nudged by forces that most ignore. Think about it. That time you thought of someone and they called, that book you opened randomly and found the exact words you needed, that number you kept seeing in every place you turned. These are not chance, these are messages. And the more you recognize them, the more they appear. Not because they're being created from nothing, but because they were always there and you are finally seeing. Synchronicities are a mirror of your consciousness, a reflection of the frequency you emit into the universe. The moment you begin to notice them, you tune into that frequency more clearly, and the universe answers louder. Carl Jung called it synchronicity. He described it as a meaningful coincidence, something that could not be explained by cause and effect. He believed it was evidence of a deeper reality, a hidden order behind the visible world. Many cultures knew this before Jung gave it a name. The East speaks of karma, the divine timing of events. Mystics speak of fate or spirit guidance. Quantum physicists talk about entanglement, the mysterious connection between particles across space and time. No matter what name you give it, the truth remains. We are all connected, and these connections are not accidental. Nature operates in patterns, fractals, geometry, ratios, symmetries, from galaxies to your DNA. Everything is structured. Why would your experiences be the exception? Your emotions, your thoughts, your choices, they too are woven into this fabric. Synchronicities are not just signs, they are moments when this fabric folds over itself. When invisible patterns become visible, they are leaks in the illusion of randomness. They are the universe showing its hand. But who or what is leaving these signs? Some say it's your higher self, a version of you beyond time. Others say it's the collective unconscious, the vast sea of human memory and thought. Some believe it is the universe itself, God, Source, a simulation running its program. Whatever the origin, the result is the same. These messages are real, and they are meant for you. They appear not to mystify you, but to awaken you. Because once you notice the synchronicities, the game changes. You begin to co-create. You're no longer just reacting to life. You're in dialogue with it. So how does it work? How do these form? Modern neuroscience offers a glimpse. The reticular activating system RAS in your brain filters what you notice. Set an intention, and your brain starts seeking confirmation. You buy a red car, and suddenly red cars are everywhere. But it's not just perception. Quantum experiments show that observation affects outcome. Consciousness doesn't just watch reality, it interacts with it. Your thoughts have frequency, your emotions have vibration, your beliefs shape your field. You are not separate from reality, you are entangled with it. When you focus on fear and lack, your field contracts. When you move into trust and purpose, it expands. Synchronicities match your state. The more open and aligned you are, the more the signs flood in. This is why they increase during periods of transformation. When you're letting go, stepping forward, changing paths, the messages become loud because the universe responds to motion. It meets you at the edge. The subconscious mind is another layer. It is always listening, always tracking the unseen. When you set an intention, your subconscious begins mapping paths, aligning events, organizing coincidence. People who believe in synchronicity program their subconscious to look for signs. Their reality reflects that belief. Skeptics say it's bias, but if it leads you to the right choice, if it changes your life, does it matter? The result is real. Some people live in flow. They see the signs, they follow. They don't need proof. They move on, feeling, unknowing. And as they do, reality seems to clear a path for them. They are not lucky, they are listening. You can do this too, but most people hesitate. They see the sign, and then they doubt. They wait, they analyze, and the window closes. Synchronicities are not commands, but invitations. You must step through. The moment you act, the field moves. The more you act, the more aligned events become. So how do you strengthen the connection? First, awareness. Shift your belief. Life is not random. It is speaking. Patterns exist. Pay attention. Numbers repeating, songs repeating, objects appearing at just the right moment. These are forms of language. Trust your feeling. If it feels like a sign, it is. Don't dismiss it. Second, journal your synchronicities. Track them, write them down. Patterns will emerge. Messages will become clearer. Your brain and subconscious will tune in more sharply. Third act. When you feel the nudge, go. Don't wait. Don't explain it away. The universe opens the door, but you must walk through. Action is the signal back to the field that you are listening. When you act, the field responds. This is co-creation. Raise your vibration. Through meditation, gratitude, presence, these states put you in flow. In flow, synchronicities increase because you are no longer resisting. You are no longer chasing, you are receiving. Trust the process. At some point you must decide, will you continue pretending life is random, or will you start noticing the signs, following the whispers, living in tune with a deeper rhythm? Because here's the truth, the signs have always been there. You were just trained not to see them. Now you can. And now that you can, the question becomes, what will you do with this knowing? Most people forget. They return to sleep. They notice the number. They smile. They forget. They feel the alignment, but do nothing. They wait for certainty. But certainty doesn't come before action. It comes after. If you keep waiting, the signs stop. If you start acting, they multiply. The universe speaks in symbols, in timing, in whispers. At first, then louder. Then it stops if you ignore it. But if you listen, if you follow, your life begins to move with an intelligence that feels like magic, but it's not magic. It's you. Aligned. And maybe, just maybe, this is what you came here to remember. That the world is not dead matter. That the universe is not indifferent. That life is not a game of chance. It is alive. And it is waiting for you to wake up.